Menterang ba kajala Conrad ki sang mau lo ang baka sorkar ka banjur ba ka baydai bat ka Natural Resource Management NRM dak ba penram bakan dai than tang ka jingthong ding lan isnai ki ka pelang na ka banta banya dai ka tulong hanrei ka long man pentikna ba ka jingdon ki marpo khyndew ka long banya da ha ka rukom ka badai ya ka niu menterang ba pan pau ha bakren ka jelang ban penwai no ya ka jira ki ba shitio lan ter ya ka wall environment di ka ban long hau su su tham ud jom silong Hakani ka singiu menterang ba ulah samru ya kusnami ka tip kum ka NRM award Shakishnong ke balebha haka Natural Resource Management ni NRM.
When we talk of NRM, which is Natural Resource Management, it's not just the Soil Conservation Department that needs to look at it. It's not about planting trees. It's not, or I should say, it's not just about planting trees. It's not just about creating the reservoir. It's not just about having the catchment area protected. It's about ensuring that the natural resource we have is managed in a better manner so that it becomes sustainable and economically viable in the long run. And that is the larger picture and the goal with which we work with. And it is important for us to realize that, but because without that, we would be missing the picture, I should say. Similarly, when you talk of youth policy, you talk of the health of the mother, you talk of the health of the child, you talk of the different programs in the health department. If you look at it, they're all connected. Now, we as a government, we focus on maternal mortality rate. We link it to institutional deliveries. And we feel that if institutional deliveries go up, the mortality rate will go down. And we don't realize that that's just one factor that leads to the result. It has multiple aspects attached to the health of the mother, which then further links up to the health of the child, the spacing between the birth of the children, the high-risk mothers that are there, the anemic status of the mothers. All these aspects lead to the ultimate goal of saving the mother's life, which ultimately leads to having healthier children, which ultimately leads to having a more productive society. So what I'm trying to say is, as a government and as departments, we need to realize that we are working towards an objective. We are working towards a goal. And everything that you do, everything that every department does, adds to that goal and to that objective. Unless we don't realize that and we don't see it, we are missing the big picture and we are losing track of what we are doing. And that's the reason why in 2018, when we started working towards natural resource management, we mentioned one very clear thing, that it's not just about planting trees, it's an entire process which will require multiple aspects. And as was mentioned by the Honorable Forest Minister, it's not about just planting a tree today. That's just a token or one step towards showing our participation. It's much bigger than that. There are many, many more things to be done. And that's why when we started in 2018, when we talked of natural resource management, we realized that we need to have a policy for water. Because without that, the entire process would be not connected. So we started with the water policy. Then we realized that the state budget and funds are not enough for us to be able to fund the different projects that we want. So we started moving aggressively on different externally aided projects. I'm happy to inform you that while I'm standing here and speaking, we have close to 4,700 crores worth of externally aided projects that are being spent on natural resource management. You don't realize it, but that's the kind of money that this government has mobilized and is spending on natural resource management. We started connecting different departments to each other. Soil conservation needs to talk to forest department, which needs to talk to water resources, which needs to talk to PHE, and all of them need to be connected with some agency and some sort of funding. So we started making the different departments talk to each other. We realized that just department handling it is not enough. We need the community to be part of it. And that's why you saw this wonderful program where we're having the natural resource management committees at the village level at the 6,500 plus villages that we have, so that the entire effort of the government, the plan that we have, can then trickle down to the grassroots level, be connected with the different programs that are being implemented, so that ultimately we are able to achieve the big picture. And while we moved forward, we realized that we need to have innovation and technology into the system. And that's why today, whether it's the process of delivering through drones and sprinkling seeds through drones, or in fact a very innovative program called the Payment for Ecosystem Services, is another example of innovation. Innovation is not just technology. Innovation is even in terms of our service, in terms of our process. So therefore, the process innovation of PES is something that is really something that's amazing.
West Garo Hills, Kongtok Para. From West Garo Hills, Kongtok Para. From North Garo every year to amend the rules for conservation of natural works, and the neighboring villages are also encouraged to take up conservation activities. Jingdon, or the Living Root Bridge as we know, is an example of how nature and humankind can live harmoniously in nature. An incorporation of rooftop rainwater harvesting for all PMAY beneficiaries has been one of the innovative ways of undertaking water conservation activities and the soil around them. The best village on land reclamation activities goes to Minska village, various aquatic life in Ungi River.